Throttle warning.
What's up? You checking out the Frequent Flyer? Welcome to my RC Chop Shop. Today I'm gonna do a brain swap on this H95 from JJRC. It has altitude hold. I don't like altitude hold. It doesn't fly with deviation or multi-protocol transmitters, so that's another thing that I'm trying to achieve with this brain swap here. I have a whole separate channel, Frequent Flyers RC Chop Shop, for doing things like this, but today I decided to share this with all my subscribers on my regular channel. So hopefully we'll get this guy flying with multi-protocol transmitter without altitude hold. Let's get it. Here we're just removing all the screws to get inside the airplane, so I figured we're just going to mosey right on along right here. This is the boring part here. Basically what we're doing here is removing every screw we can find. So I'm going to give it some power just so I can locate the LEDs on here, because I do want to repurpose these LEDs. I'm going to desolder them and solder them onto the board that I replaced this one with. And so the red is in the rear, blue is in the front. And that's the way we want it to be when we're done. So we're going to keep that in mind. Here's a little close-up of the board here. You can see the wires are in the middle that we're going to be desoldering. So let's get to it. Actually, let's get the other quad open. So this is the quad that I'm going to be using. This is an awesome flying quad from Huiying Toys. I have about 3 of these, so I chose this one. So we finally got this one open. So let's get to desoldering these wires and performing a brain swap. I actually like the way this guy flies in its stock state. I just don't like the altitude hold. I think it's harder to fly in wind because of the altitude hold, and also it has that potential to fly away. I removed 4 screws and every wire, including the LEDs. Time to jump on this guy. So here I'm just trying to memorize which wire gets soldered to which solder point. So now that I got the board out of that guy, I'm just gonna use my little helping hand here to hold it while I solder. So I'm going to start with the LEDs. Now the more tougher task of soldering the motors. Just to let you guys know, this tedious job here was an absolute pain for me. I actually had to desolder it at least once and resolder them in different positions to get everything working correctly. Any of you guys out there who have ever tried to do a soldering job in front of a camera, I'm pretty sure you can attest to the fact that it's super hard to get this done and show it on video. It's very hard to do, much easier to do without the video capture. So here we are with it. I know this looks like a big mess, guys, with all the wires and all, but it is done. I got all the wires soldered to the correct positions. And so now all that's left is to just put this thing back together. And I'm really not going to, I was thinking about maybe glue, using some hot glue to fasten the FC to the top of the fuselage there, because the holes really don't line up to secure it to the bottom portion of the frame. So I actually ended up just closing it back together, because the little stand for the frame there, it actually pushes it up into the top of the frame to keep it straight. So that's all I ended up doing. I really didn't use any hot glue or anything else special here. I just closed it back up and it seemed to work fine. So I came up with this idea to save weight by not putting the top wing portion on and cutting the battery bay in half. So that should save us some weight. Let's get this guy up in the air. Let's take this guy for a test flight. Alright y'all, so we're about to take this thing for a rather dangerous test flight. I say dangerous because it just rained and we're up here on the deck. If anything goes wrong, this thing is going to fall on me. So it's working. Okay, so looks like it's going to take off. We're in the air with it. It seems like it's pulling backwards on me though. But we are flying with it. It's rather windy out there though. Bring it in here. So low altitude hold, and we're flying with the T8SG. Every time I bring it out there, every time I take it from under this seclusion here, the wind pushes it. It's not a whole lot of wind, but it's enough to push this thing, I guess. Let's see if we can take off with it again. At least you know it does get in the air. I'm wondering if it'll be a little more stable if I had glued the FC inside the frame there. So we are flying into the wind here. Just a light breeze. So everything is working though. No altitude hold. You can see the turbulence pushing it out there. Let's slide in here. A little more stable in here. Check it. We got aileron here. We have yaw control, forward and backwards control, and no altitude hold. So I guess it's safe to say that this thing was a success. We have the blue light in the front, red in the rear there. So I'm anxious to take this guy out for a flight at night. The wind is usually a little more calm at night, and so this thing is a success. The JJRC H95 brain swap. Thanks for watching.